All right, you guys, thanks so much for being here. I'm getting better at doing this Facebook thing live and not looking too awkward beforehand. But today, you guys voted last night, and the last vote of the day said that we'd like to talk about stress and fertility. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind you of the handout. So if this is new to you and you're just joining, this is probably my third or fourth live where I'm going and talking about how you can support your fertility naturally. And the main question that I get is, okay, I want to support my fertility naturally. How do I do it? And it's not a one thing that you can do. It's more understanding where the pitfalls are for you and what you need to do for your own unique system in order to support your fertility naturally. Because we are all unique individuals, all unique snowflakes, and it's really important that we support our system the way that we need to. So what we've done is we've covered nutrition and diet for fertility. We've also covered digestion for fertility. And so there's a lot still to left if you see those corners. If this is a handout that you guys want, I'm just crossing them off because we already covered it. And those are the lives. If you would like to be tagged in those lives, just comment, tag me, and whether it's nutrition and diet or digestion, and I'm happy to do that. So what we're going to talk about next is we're going to talk about stress. And what I want to draw out for you is just so you have this idea of building a house. Okay. You're building a house, and this is the foundation here. Windows, doors, it's, you have a roof and a little chimney. And in order for you, basically what we're trying to do and what my message is here is that you're the house that's going to grow the baby. And so we want to have a really sturdy and strong house in order to be able to grow the baby. And so when we're looking to support fertility, we're going to try to see what's missing. So the foundation is actually not nutrition or digestion, it is sleep. So that's something that we need to cover still, and we're going to talk about and I talk about that because if you don't sleep well, that's going to impact basically every single one of these pieces. There is literally nothing we can do to make up for the deprivation of sleep or lack of sleep, quality of sleep. So that's really, really, really important. The nutrition, diet, and digestion are the building material of the house. So the wood that you use, the brick that you use, how is the wood rotten or is it really strong, cedar wood? Is it a strong brick or is it a cracked that's going to let air through and is going to tax your ventilation? So this is the same with your nutrition and diet. You want to make sure that that nutrition is good and supportive of what it is that your system needs. There's, of course, some generic advice of like high protein, high quality fats, a lot of it, and then leafy greens. But then there's also things like if you're eating a bunch of foods that are causing you sensitivities, like wheat and dairy, or even just foods that you are sensitive to, like let's say it's eggs, or let's say it's a particular type of nut or fruit or veggie, then it's just going to cause inflammation and cause issues. So the stress component of it, which is what we're going to talk today about, is there's a couple things that I want to shift your beliefs. So we're going to talk about the stress, and the stress is really the stronger you build the house, how much stress can withstand. So if there's rain, if there's thunder, if there's a tornado coming, can this house withstand it? That's really what stress is. And there's a couple things that I want to, kind of shift your perspective on, because the frustration that I see with my clients is that everybody's stressed out. And then we're stressed out about being stressed out because that being stressed out causes issues with your hormones, which is impacting your ovulation. It's impacting your sex hormones, your progesterone and your estrogen, which can impact your ability to carry to term and to actually implant the baby, and to have a healthy pregnancy. What we want to just create some shifts in our beliefs and also our relationship with stress, how we view it, how we deal with it, and have a routine that allows us to have boundaries with stress, and also a routine that allows us to take care of ourselves and we actually feel rested and rejuvenated, and we're building resiliency as opposed to we're letting that stress wear us out. So again, if I take you back to the model of being in the house, if the house is constantly bombarded by thunder and tornadoes and hail, and we don't take the time to repair the roof or to make the roof a little bit stronger or to replace whatever, that gets damaged through the period of stress, then the house just wears out. And it doesn't really matter how much nutrition and how much sleep and all that. And I don't want to say that it doesn't really matter, but it makes it's like you're constantly going uphill. So we want to create really strong boundaries with stress, and we want to shift some beliefs around stress. And that's what I want to do today, because the mistakes that I see most couples and most women make is that we do things on regular basis that is actually causing us more stress. So we don't realize that it's causing us stress, but it is. So figuring out what those things are is going to be really, really important. We also want, the big mistake that I see from most couples make and women make is that we just want stress to go away. So we have this very poor relationship with stress. And so here's the belief that I want you guys to shift around stress. And I'm going to write it down because I think it's really, really important. So the belief that we want to shift here, and I'm going to change my color, and we are talking about stress, is that stress is not bad. Okay? Stress is not bad. Too much or too little is bad. So I want you guys to sink that in, because we always hear about too much, but not too little. And the example that I want to give you is when you go to the gym and you need to lift some weights to build muscle. I'm super bad at drawing muscles. I don't even know what that is. So I'm going to pretend this is an arm and this is your bicep. Okay, that's my best version of the arm. If you don't lift any weights ever, your muscles will never get the signal to get strong. That's literally why we go to the gym, this why I tell and the exercise and movement for our fertility. We're going to talk about that as well. But if you never go to the gym and you never lift weights or you never move your body, it's like the expression, if you don't use it, you lose it, is very, very true. The same thing goes for stress, because really exercise is a stress. If you do too much of it, though, it breaks down the muscle and you get injured all the time. If you don't do enough, you don't grow any muscle. But that concept could be applied to stress in general in your life. So if you don't have any stress, then the body, it's like the cortisol, the hormone cortisol, we don't produce it, which is stress cortisol. It actually gives us motivation. And there's a lot of, kind of energy and vitality and fulfillment and waking up in the morning and feeling like, okay, I have energy to go throughout the day and do the things that I want to do. So cortisol has some important functions. When we have too much cortisol for a really long period of time, that's when we start to get into trouble. That's when we start to get issues with our thyroid. That's when we start to get metabolic issues, so blood sugar dysregulations. And then, of course, it can also trickle down into sex hormone dysregulation. So whether that's progesterone deficiency, testosterone, or DHEA deficiency, which is all going to cause which is all going to impact how your egg is developed for men. It's going to impact the quality and the quantity of the sperm, the morphology of the sperm. So when I sit down and I talk to most of my patients, nobody says that they don't have any stress, which I think we can all agree on, right? Like we all have stress. But what most of my patients will say, and this is the belief that they will have, is that I just want to get rid of it. I don't want to have stress. But really what I want to teach you is how to draw boundaries with stress. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick little we want to reframe that relationship and have really strong boundaries with stress to know when it's time to take a break. And there's 3 concepts that I really want to teach you. Number 1 is that, and let me actually just write it down because I think you guys will find that helpful. And Great. I want to see if I can find my pen here. There we go. I don't know why it's not letting me. Number one, there's two kinds of stresses. There's conscious and subconscious. Conscious stress is, you know, what's coming at you, whether it's a work, work stress line, you had a fight with your partner, whatever. It's something that you are realizing is causing you stress. The subconscious stress is the thing that kills us. And what I mean by that is, if you don't know something is causing you stress, but it's causing you stress on the inside, we want to bring that out into the conscious so you can start to learn to deal with it. And I really call that awareness. So we want to deepen your level of awareness with your body, because your body is talking to you through symptoms. One of the symptoms could be that you're not getting pregnant. One of the symptoms could be that you're having miscarriages. It could be that you are tired, you can't lose weight, you have acne, you are moody. All of these things are symptoms, you guys, and we want to increase our level of awareness so we can bring the subconscious stuff into conscious and start to deal with it. And the subconscious could be like, you're dehydrated. And so if you dehydrated, your body is super stressed out because it's trying to figure out where to pull water from to do the things that it needs to do for you to survive. The second thing, like I said, that I want you to shift is boundaries. And it really leads into the third thing, which I like to call mindful negligence. And what I mean by that is, stop being a hero, stop trying to deal with everything all at once, and understand where your limits are. So if your body is giving you a bunch of signals of you're tired, you can't lose weight, you have thyroid issues, you can't get pregnant, you're anxious, heart palpitations, depression, whatever those are all signs and symptoms that the house is starting to break. And so we want to have boundaries to say, that's enough. I need to do some things that are going to bring energy in, and that's going to help me unwind. Because remember, it's like a muscle. If you train it too hard, you're going to strain that muscle and it's going to tear. If you don't train it at all, which is really not the case in our society, which is why I'm not talking about it. But if you put yourself in situations, or if you are not aware that you're in situations that are causing your body stress all of the time, that the body is going to break down. And so we need to learn how to set those boundaries. And the mindful negligence component is, hey, I know I have to deal with this thing, but it's not right now. I just need to take a minute. I need to take a break. I need to set a boundary, do a little bit more self-care before I can go ahead and take this next part on. And that self-care can look like making yourself a nice meal. It can look like going for a walk in nature. It can look like taking a nap on the couch, reading your favorite book, petting your animal, spending some time with your kids, with your friends, with your family, whoever. The point is to give you some reprieve from that. So I find that those three things are really important. Bringing more awareness into your stress and understanding what's causing you stress, drawing those boundaries with stress, and then having mindful negligence. So you are mindful about the things that you're neglecting and knowing that you're going to come to them when you feel a little bit stronger, a little bit more resilient. So it doesn't have to be really, really complicated. So what I'd love for you guys, what I have for you is something called Treat Yourself to Rest as a handout. If this is something that you are interested in and you would like me to send it your way, please comment the word, let's go with the word chill, CHILL, if you want the Treat Yourself to Rest freebie that I have made for you and as part of my Fertility 101 program. I'd love to share that with you. If you learned something that was super groundbreaking for you today and you're having some light bulb moments, I would love to know what those are. Share them in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Much love, you guys.